today we are going to talk about the present progressive tense. In English and in Spanish, the present progressive tense indicates continuing action, something going on right now. This tense is formed with the helping verb to be in the present tense, plus the present participle of the verb, like in the ing ending. This is what it looks like in English. I am learning a lot, or we are studying Spanish. It's the ing in English. You use am and are plus learning and studying, ings. In Spanish, the way you make it is it's two parts. And this is actually my favorite because you are combining information you already know, like estar. You already know how to conjugate that, and just adding a little bit more. So you're not having to memorize whole new charts. We've talked about estar before. Estar means to be, but remember, when you conjugate it, it breaks down to estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. The conjugation was slightly different. It was your baby irregular verb because in the yo form and an oy as opposed to just an o. And the four bottom ones got accent marks on the a's. That's it. So what you need to do is you get estar, and this is where you're going to sprinkle in something slightly new. You conjugate the verb estar, which you already know how to do, and then for AR verbs, you're going to take off the ending and add ando, and for ER and IR verbs, you're going to add yendo to the follow-up verb. Here's what it looks like. So here's an AR example. We got estar plus the ando ending. So I can say, ellos están hablando. I conjugated the verb estar for ellos. And then for hablar, I chopped off AR and added ando. And this means they are talking. See, the ando is like the ing that we use in English. And están is the R that we have in English. So they parallel. Here's an example for ER verbs. You get estar, and then you're going to add the ending, which is equivalent to ing ending, yendo. So if I use yo estoy comiendo, it means I am eating. The yo estoy means I am, and the comiendo is eating. See that yendo is like our ing. Here's some more examples of what it looks like. So we get hablar, you chop off the AR and you're left with the stem, habl, and then you just attach ando, hablando. AR verbs get the ando ending. ER and IR verbs, they share the same endings, and they get yendo, iendo. So like comer, chop off ER, you're left with the root or the stem, com, and they add yendo, comiendo, and now that means eating. Or escribir, you chop off IR, you're left with the root escrib, attach the iendo, which is like our ing, escribiendo, and now you're saying writing. There is one you have to watch out for, and is when the stem of an ER or IR verb ends in a vowel, the present participle ends in yendo, yendo. So, and the main reason is because when you chop off that ER and an iendo, it's too many vowels clunked together, and it just looks weird. And a lot of times Spanish will do that. When things are just too clustered or don't look right, they'll bend the rules for that. So like leer, you're going to chop off the ER. You're left with the stem le, because remember, you're not chopping off the EER, you're just chopping off the ER. And then you're going to attach yendo, leyendo. And it looks so much prettier. Or oír, to hear, you chop off that IR. And do not add iendo. I know it's an IR verb, but this one is an exception. You add yendo, oyendo. Or traer, again, this ends in a vowel, so you chop off that ER. And at first, you're going to want to add the iendo, but don't add the yendo, trayendo. Here's what it would look like if you did add the iendo. So here we have leer, you chop off the ER, and if you add iendo, see, it's just way too much going on there. So no iendo. This is why we do the yendo for that. There's not, it's just too clunky. Here's some practice. Let's do the first one together. So what I want you to do is to change this to the present progressive tense. So we have tú estar and bailar. So conjugate estar for tú is estás, and then you chop off the AR for bailar, and you should get tú estás bailando. I'm going to let you do the rest of these 2 through 6 on your own. So I'll give you a few seconds to either pause this and write it down on a separate piece of paper, or you can screenshot it and write on your device. Here you go. Okay, hopefully that was enough time for you to be able to figure this out after pausing or screenshotting. Let's discuss the answers. So nosotros estar, conjugate estar for nosotros, it's estamos, chop off AR, and you got estamos jugando. Yo estar is estoy, chop off the ER for hacer, and haciendo. Yo estoy haciendo, which means I am doing or I am making. Ellas estar is ellas están comprando, which means they are purchasing or they are shopping or they are buying. Ustedes estar for pasar. Ustedes están pasando. Conjugate estar for ustedes and then take off AR and add ando. Easy peasy, yes? Here's the last one. El estar and then comer is él está comiendo. Conjugate estar for él, chop off the ER for comer, and add the IENDO. Not too bad, huh? Like I said, all we're doing is we're taking some old information, present tense of estar, and we're sprinkling in this new information. Here's some more practice for you guys. So I'm going to give you guys again a moment to pause this and write it down on a piece of paper or screenshot your device and be able to mark it up on your device or go into an app that allows you to write. All right, let's discuss them. So to change this one, it'd be ella está llevando una blusa rosada, which would translate to she is wearing a pink blouse. For the number 2, conjugating the verb estar is yo estoy visitando mis abuelos. I am visiting my grandparents. This implies, again, this is happening right now. The ing is like what we do in English. Nosotros estamos bebiendo refrescos. We are drinking sodas. Not we drink sodas, like the regular present tense. That would imply that happens habitually. This one is we are doing it right now. Tú estás cantando en el radio. You are singing on the radio. Ustedes están escribiendo. Conjugate for the verb estar. Chop off IR, escribir, and add INDO. Ustedes están escribiendo un cuento means you all are writing a story. Now notice that you all is what you probably use in Latin America, not the familiar plural y'all in Spain. That would be vosotros. And number 6, él está tocando el piano. He is playing the piano, insinuating that's what's happening right here, right now. There you guys go. I hope you kind of got a good feel for how to work with the present progressive. Look to activities and notes to get some more practice. And as always, message me if you have any questions. Thank you, guys.